After a shocking 29.6 million Friday take for Shang-Chi, people were looking at the weekend going, where exactly does this go? Because it's only up from here considering it made what analysts predicted would make in the weekend in its first day. So now we have the numbers as close to as official as you're going to get up until Tuesday afternoon. So it's falling in the 75 million ballpark. Guys, just so we are clear on this, Shang-Chi, during a worldwide pandemic, less showings, and people not willing to go to theaters, has made more in 3 days than the Ant-Man films do, pre-pandemic. So of course, the numbers are going to take a little bit longer to figure out what the final take is. So for the 3-day weekend, most people are reporting somewhere in the 67.5 to 70 million, maybe 75, and the 4-day weekend, because again, it's one of those interesting 4-day weekends, so we have to wait for all the numbers, which is why it's going to take a little bit more time, but that's estimated to be 75 to 85, maybe more million, depending on what happens. I mean, any way you look at this, this is a huge win. This box office right here tells you that people were hungry for more MCU content, and there's quite clearly no fatigue yet, especially when it comes to a new character that's just literally standing on his own. There's no other Avengers in this that are being advertised. It's like, oh, you have Shang-Chi and that's it. Pretty big win for them, all things considered. Now, what's important here is, and this has been well, I guess sort of a track record of this pandemic, is you have a great first weekend, but what happens next weekend? And typically, we've seen pre-pandemic, well, 55, 60% down. But pandemic-wise, it's been like 70, 80% down weekend over weekend. Not that I think that's going to matter at all for Shang-Chi, because Marvel Studios is committed. So they're not going to be reactionary and suddenly cancel and pull the character. That's not their thing. But if you're other studios, you're looking at this and you're wondering what exactly happens next. And you got to assume Sony and Disney are going to be looking at this very carefully, analyzing these numbers going, well, what happens with our output now? And I think this only confirms good things to come, but we just don't know. But overall, it's a pretty impressive weekend to be a new Marvel Studios film that's an unproven franchise.